It's a Mario time!
We're back for part 2 of the ranking of all of the Super Mario Bros. Villains or enemies. We're not including bosses in here, just regular old enemies that you can fight on levels. We're getting into Super Mario Bros. 2 as it was released in the United States. Doki Doki Panic just kind of reskinned and everything and made into this other Mario game, which was not originally Super Mario Bros. 2. And there's a lot of enemies in here that are don't carry over into like any other Mario games, and no carryovers from the first Super Mario Bros. So a lot to add in on this episode of our going through all the Super Mario Bros. Villains. So let's just get right into it. First up on that list is the Albatoss, and so obviously a play on Albatross, and they fly in and they drop bombs and enemies on you, and you can ride on them, which is cool. There's a lot of things in this Super Mario Bros. Game that are different, right? Because it wasn't made to be a Super Mario Bros. Game. So whereas in the first Super Mario Bros. You jump on something and that kills it. But in this one, the way you actually kill things a lot of times, you pick them up, you jump on them, then you pick them up, then you throw them. And so you can jump on this bird and you can ride it like around, right? And so the fact that it brings guys in is cool, but it's just a big bird, not overtly scary or anything. It doesn't show up in like any other games. Like a lot of these, the Super Mario Bros. Super Show takes inspiration from this game a lot, and so you get a lot of enemies from this game that show up in that cartoon. And so this one is one of those. Oh goodness, it's not gonna be very high for me. I'll put it above right there, because at least it's got a face, right? It's got eyes that I can worry about. So that's for that one. The Autobomb is something that a Shyguy rides on. We'll talk about Shyguys a little bit later, and it looks like a camera to me, but it will shoot out projectiles, but it looks like a big like studio camera from like a TV station or something. And after you take out the Shyguy on top of it, Mario can ride on top of it again. I don't just kind of go in a straight line and won't shoot out projectiles anymore. It's more like a vehicle than an actual enemy itself. I don't know. I think I'm going to find that I'm not really that impressed with a lot of these guys. Now the Bizo is kind of like a flying Shyguy. They show up in Super Mario RPG, which is a cool game, which has a great art style and everything. But in this, I mean, they're a real pain in the butt because they fly in and they'll stab you with their little. It's not a trident because there's only two like stabby things on it. What's it called? They are like a flying Shyguy, but without the mouth on there, like they don't really look like a flying Shyguy. At least not to me. Like they look more like, I don't know, almost a little bird-like. Like their mask is a little too long in the front. I know it's probably just trying to be perspective. But I don't need to go all the way down on that one. That one can go into the C tier. Now, Bob-ombs are going to put up in the top. They're going to be an S tier for me. One of the kind of few Super Mario Bros. 2 villains that or enemies that really, really carry over. And Bob-ombs are in pretty much everything going forward because they are awesome, right? An enemy they can jump on and they turn into a bomb. Good stuff. The Cobrat has, I don't know, kind of like a funny name, but doesn't really do much for me. It's a big snake. And again, you can ride on top of it and grab it and throw it at people. But I don't know, it almost serves as kind of like a piranha plant enemy where like it come out of the little things that the pots that you can warp out of. They can go above the squids. The Flurry is like a little snow guy, and they whip around and slide all over the ice. I hate ice levels. I really do. Maybe more than a swimming level. Yeah, these guys are going to be low for me. We'll go. Yeah, we're right here, D tier. Hoopsters, again, enemies that I don't like. I think it's gonna be my first F tier. It's just so forgettable, right? It climbs up and down vines. You can ride on it. It looks like a ladybug, but like, I don't know. It's just, I'm not like this whole game in general. Like a lot of them are just not as good. I mean, and I think that's because it wasn't made to be a Mario game, right? So it didn't have that kind of thought and everything put into it. The Ninji, it's like a little ninja guy. I don't know. I think it was C tier on that. I mean, the look is kind of funny. I like to imagine that it's like a Shyguy in a suit, like trying to be a ninja or something. I don't know, but they just jump around. Ostro is like an ostrich that people ride on. The bad guys ride on it, and then you can ride on it also. But you can also pick them up themselves and throw them at people. I'm going F tier. I don't like it. The Panzer I'm going to be putting up above the Cobrat. It's like a flower that shoots fire out at you. It's cool. Some of them move around, some of them don't. It's one of the ones where I'm like, oh, I could see them wanting to put that in more games, but it just hasn't really been used much. The Phanto is going to be an A tier for me, though, for sure. Just one of those first enemies in a game, like personally, where I was just scared when it would show up, right? It was not fun when I saw a Phanto there, because like you're going to have to steal the key, it's going to wake up, and then you got to run from it. And there's no like really getting rid of it or anything. You just got to run. And I just haven't ever really been very, I don't know, good at those sections of the game, and so they're always threatening for me. Now the Pidgit I got to kind of think about on two different levels, right? Because there's the enemy portion of it, and then after you kill the enemy, you can take the magic carpet and ride on it. And unlike like some of these other things where it just kind of runs, you can fly this thing all over the place. And so it's like a weird little bird riding on a flying carpet. Cool imagery. I like that. Not too hard to kill, right, or anything, but enough of a challenge where, like, if you get distracted by other things, it can actually get you, and it does improve the gameplay. I like it. I think it's going to go up into B tier for me. Pokeys are another one of the enemies that carry over into other games. You can eat them with Yoshi. They're in Mario 64. They kind of end up being in, like, the desert levels a little bit more than just, like, this green one that we see here. Like, I don't hate them, but they're not very exciting for me. They're going to go above that blooper for sure. I'm going to go C. Porcupos are next. They're little porcupines, but my problem with this guy is he's kind of cute, right? And I don't want to kill the cute thing. So I think that makes him a bad enemy. Like, I don't... He is different in the game than that you can't jump on him. You have to just throw things at him. And so that does make him like even like a bit of a challenge at least. But he just doesn't strike me as malicious. We can go D tier with him. Maybe if he looked angry. Put some angry eyebrows on there. But I know he kind of looks like Sonic the Hedgehog. I know he's a porcupine, but maybe that's like some foreshadowing. Now we got the Shyguys, and Shyguys do again carry over in the Mario series. I really like Shyguys in Luigi's Mansion. I like yanking their masks off with the poltergust and then sucking them up. I don't think I quite like them enough to put them in S tier, but I'm happy with an A tier on that, high end of A tier even. They're cool. I think their masks lend them to be, depending on how they're depicted, either pretty sinister or pretty cute, and they can play in both camps. And I think that that's important for a Mario bad guy, because sometimes you might want one of your bad guys to look a little scarier or mean, and sometimes you just want him to be friendly. You can play tennis with this guy, is what I'm trying to say. Small Fry Guy is like a small version of one of the bosses in the game. I don't know. He's lame. D tier. A Snifit is like a Shyguy, except for it shoots things out of its mouth, nose. I know, I guess I never really thought about Snifits, right? They have their faces shrouded in darkness or whatever from their hood, but they just have like goggles on, and then whatever. If that is that their mouth, or do they have something in their mouth? Are they holding something? I don't know, man. They're kind of weird. They're creepier than a Shyguy, that's for sure. I'll go low end B for those guys. Spark is lame. They just go around and around on a platform. Anything that just makes a platform, so I am just annoyed and have to jump. Like, I understand it's making it more difficult, but I don't like it, and it's going to go the lowest for me. The Trouter and the Hoopster obviously are very similar to each other, where he's like jumping out of the water, though, instead of going up and down on a vine. I similarly don't like him. So I even like him a little bit less because water-based. And unless it's Pokemon, I'm not interested in water-based animals. And then lastly is the Tweeter. Like a bird thing that flies around with like a mask on. Goodness, this game, I mean, none of the games are not weird with their bad guys, but this one in particular is very odd. Like, they just all look weird. Makes sense when you're like, oh, Mario was dreaming the whole time. I'll go D tier for him. And that's going to get us through the first 2 Super Mario Bros. Games. Like I said, I don't really like Super Mario Bros. 2 very much. I don't like that it doesn't fit in with like the feel of the rest of them. It did add a lot of things to, I don't know, like the lore and like the way different characters would control, and like letting Luigi be separate from Mario and be taller, and then Toad being small and fast, and Princess Peach having her like hovering ability. And it did add a lot of bad guys and some pretty cool ones there up at the top with like the Bob-omb and Shyguy. And so, you know, you can't hate on it too much. And so that's going to be at the end of this tier list. We're going to keep this one going. I don't think we're going to hit it in December at all, but we'll get going back on it at some point in January. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video or videos like this, don't forget to subscribe so that you can get notifications whenever we put out new stuff. Please like this video. Take care. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time. Bye.